Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
Lift off and the clock has started.
Oof. Like literally just go for it.
All right, we're going for it. Today we're going to be talking about the history of bamboo in America.
It's exciting, riveting, a little bit of a split from our usual content.
It grows very fast and readily and can be used for many applications.
It can. Sometimes you might not want to put up a fence, but you could put up a bamboo tree line, and that would block sight lines onto your property and allow for a modicum of privacy.
Well,
It's
then,
so strong.
The more you know.
What are we actually talking about, though?
yeah,
Let's go. Guys, this is another, you guys know, this is another episode of Under Further Review, right? I'm not talking to the corn dogs. I'm talking to you guys.
Yeah,
You guys know that's what this is, right?
oh, I fucking know, brother.
Oh no, the first brother of the night.
I'm well aware of it, brother.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is episode 11, technically. So, you know.
1-1. Make a wish.
Right. Yeah. The
That's
next
not how
one
that
will be 12.
It's
right.
almost 13 if you think about it.
Oh, we have to skip 13. It's it's unlucky.
The word for 12 in German is Zwölf.
This isn't number 12. This is number
I know,
11.
I'm just saying. This is an educational podcast. First, we're going to learn about the bamboo, and then we're going to learn to count to 12 in German.
I feel like this is really what they come for, you know. This is
It's quite possible.
I've been preparing all day.
There's a guise of music involvement in this program, but really they just want to hear us talk about the fucking random shit that drifts in and out of our heads.
Like the gent. Did you guys listen to Got Gent, that playlist?
Yes, I actually have quite a bit before you mentioned it, in fact.
How is it? Okay, those that have listened to it, how many gents would you give it out of 10?
I would give it 8 out of 10 gents.
Are you the only one that listened to it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably.
I thought they were...
No. Where does it lose the 2? What could it have done better, and what did it do right?
That is a pivotal question.
There wasn't enough Devin Townsend.
That's a good point. All right, well, that settles it. Now let's move on to, I suppose, what we actually came here to do, which was talk about the benefits of bamboo.
Yes.
And chew bubble gum.
Home and garden projects.
We're all out of bubblegum.
We're all talking about bamboo, though.
You can
you
use
got
it to
bubble
make
gum?
rain gutters.
Or on another note, maybe we should take a look at this fantastic not podcast, playlist that our El Capitan sent to us.
Well, you know, somebody had to claim it. JB's tips and tops entered your ears this week, gentlemen.
So I guess maybe we should lay down for the corn dogs out there. This isn't Jared's first playlist.
No.
One was lost to the playlist gods. It's just gone.
It's lost in the fucking ether. It wouldn't be my first gaffe with all like the Lucas, who, you know, he would tell you all about the lost episodes that are many for Matinee Edition. I'm hoping to now that I have new equipment, it won't happen too much with these podcasts anymore.
Did we actually record that?
We did. It was a full fucking episode.
Yeah, it was a long. That was like a 25.
It
track
was
one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that
was
was
like
the
a-
early days.
Yeah, dude, it was
Oh.
a 3-hour banger.
We had some very ambitious expectations for our time.
Yeah. I think the hot dogs / corn dogs. The corn dogs are the real ones out there. The hot dogs are just the fucking posers.
The hot dogs are the Instagram followers. The corn
Yeah.
dogs are the listeners for sure.
But I think
Cookie
they're
dogs this week.
probably pretty stoked that these aren't 3 hours a piece, you know.
Yeah,
If they can come in for an hour and a half and hear some bullshitting, it's probably best for everyone.
Yeah, I think it's the more desirable format for most ears these days. 3 hours. We'll leave the 3 hours to Rogan, I guess.
Yeah.
Are his probably that long?
Dude, he does sometimes like fucking 5 hour podcasts.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I don't think I could talk to Joe Rogan for 5 hours.
Definitely not. I'd run out.
Actually, maybe I could because
steam.
he's actually a really good interviewer.
Well,
Because would
he
get
is.
it out of me.
He'd
Okay.
spend an hour and a half telling you about MMA, whether you wanted to or not.
Yeah,
That's been my gripe lately.
that's
I
the
do
thing.
enjoy
Like,
it.
I
Hang on,
love.
Did he talk about Yair Rodriguez recently? Because I have some opinions about that beautiful,
know.
shining star of a man.
Probably.
I've been a huge Rogan fan for over the last 5 years, but I'm not gonna lie, I've pretty much completely tuned him out in the last year since he moved to Spotify. It's nowhere near what it used to be.
I used to just put it on in the background on YouTube while I was working from home.
Everyone knows that any podcast that's on Spotify is bullshit and full of posers. Jabronis.
Which reminds me, follow Old Heart Radio on Spotify if you're listening to it on there. Also, we know other people that have music on there.
Oh shit! It's String Lights, the band, which is
Whoa.
one guy, and that one guy is me. I am String Lights. That is what I am now. There's nothing beneath this mask.
This is all string lights.
String Lights becomes him.
It's String Lights all the way down. But I have a new track out. It's called The Ride, and it's a little bit of metal, and it's a little bit of synthesizers, and a little bit of 80s sounding drums, and that's pretty much it. But it's fun. I recommend you listen to it. Someone in Indonesia is listening to it.
Shout outs.
Yeah, so shout out to Bekazi, Indonesia, and whoever the fuck that guy is.
It could just be my VPN when I listen to it, though.
Yeah, we've all been using VPNs trying to make you feel special.
Oh,
Hanging around the globe.
I'm disappointed, but I really appreciate it. You got it.
Anything.
No, dude, seriously though, fucking ripping banger. Like I've listened to it at least like 20 times.
Well, I appreciate it
sure.
because I need all the plays I can get.
It's fucking legit, man. I love it. So,
He's going
yeah,
to starve to death if you guys don't listen.
that's
I'm
what I'm
not gonna be able to
saying.
pay my rent unless I get 1,000 Spotify views on each song. I actually don't know how much money I'm
Uh-oh.
supposed to be making on this.
You can make money off of things you put on Spotify.
That's what I've heard.
If you're Adele.
Okay, reminds me real quick. Hard segue. Sorry. We have officially over 300 episodes of Old Heart Radio podcast on Spotify. So
Wow.
yeah, we banged that number right up once we started some of these new shows like Under Further Review and the Whack Arnold's Brothers and shit.
Wow.
So,
I gotta say, the last Coffee and Contemplations you uploaded, that was pretty deranged, man. You were ranting. that was actually really entertaining.
sometimes the mind splits a little bit behind the microphone.
You had some things to say about coffee on that one.
Sometimes I don't know what I'm gonna say when I start those things, and I just kind of like rip into some. I'm just like, okay, so appreciate it though. That's ever in triple digits, man. I want to get more in triple digits. So
Yeah, we need to.
We're going for the quad.
dude, the quad.
big old Polaris quad.
Need an army. 50,000 didgeridoos. I haven't got a lot of sleep lately, by the way. So I'm feeling weird. And
Good.
I came with the hatred.
I'm coming for. I want it, Caleb. Bring the fucking heat.
You're bringing hatred on this one.
Bring the
That's kind of impressive. I did want to say your original Lost playlist. I felt like you played it really safe on that one. And this one, I don't feel like you played it so safe, and it's paying off in spades. So I'm excited to talk about this one.
Well, then let's jump right into it. Let's let the captain take a sit in the recliner in the lazy boy. Let's look this first song, Slim's Return by Madlib. What's up with this one?
Yeah, man. So Madlib is a fucking wild innovator when it comes to music, and done collaborations with so many people, most notably for myself, MF Doom. in their like collaboration Mad Villainy, which a track almost got put on here, but I cut it out. This track though is like it's off of this album where he goes through and repurposes all these like old jazz records from this record label called Blue Note Records, and it's just so fucking cool, all the samples that he throws together to create these cohesive like awesome pieces of music, including this one, which I just thought was like a really fucking fun and like kind of laid back opening track. So
Yeah, listening to it, I was like, what genre would you consider this? Like, I don't know how to classify it, but it's funky as hell, and it's a fucking cool jam for sure.
hell yeah.
What do you think, Caleb?
I thought it was cool. I thought I've heard of this guy before, and like just some like because I do, I had a pretty extensive phase of listening to a lot of DJ music, varying from like people like this who are legit old school turntable DJs, and he's really good. Good scratchies. I really like the rattly. I don't know what that instrument is called, but that little like wooden ball on the bar.
Oh yeah,
smack it,
dude. I used to fuck with it in band class. Yeah, it's like like this little thing and you just
the
go,
metallophone.
yeah,
whatever the fuck it's called. That thing's cool.
Yeah, it's
Hell
a
yeah.
metallophone. Oh, and it's also called. What's it also called? It has another name for like high school band. I was looking at buying one pretty recently, and I can't remember why.
Theremin?
I want one.
Theremin.
It's like not a xylophone. It's like another thing. It's called like standard bells or something.
Well, for being
Where
an
are the
instrument
band
that
kids?
only has one purpose, I think it's worth any amount of pennies. I thought this was great. I was waiting for Mos Def, aka Yassine Bey, to just jump in. This sounds like his kind of stuff, which that's the lane of hip hop that I'm a fan of. So this had a good mix of everything going on.
Yeah. And that's what, like, Jameson, you were saying, like, what would you classify it? And I definitely like hip hop would be a class of like something you'd put as a genre on this thing, amongst other things.
It's hard to generalize,
but it really is. Yeah.
What about you, Dusty?
To genre.
I think this genre is skate rap.
Skate rap. Yes. Dell would also be in that category.
It's just like when I hear stuff like this, instantly my mind goes back. Fish Islands, just a street skating video.
Oh, yo.
Which I like quite a bit. It's got a nice groove, and you just kind of like, oh, that takes me back to 6th grade or whatever. I was obsessed with skateboarding.
Yo.
That age.
I've definitely longboarded while like listening to this album for sure.
It's a groove set in music,
Hell yeah.
But I like it. It's a nice like tame start to this. It's not too over the top. I didn't realize it's remix of previous jazz records.
Yeah, dude.
And I couldn't remember every time I would hear this and it transitions to the next song. Couldn't tell if the sound clip's at the end of this song or the start of the next song.
Oh yeah.
But it works for both of them. Like, I don't know what's going on here.
I know it kind of did end up sort of working. Yeah, there's like all throughout this album, there's these like little recordings that he puts through there that are like old Blue Note Records musicians like doing shout outs, being like, yo, he's using these records or whatever. And it's just kind of cool to like that he, at their age gets anything from them, and, to have like their approval on the project, I bet meant the fucking world. So yeah, pretty cool. Yeah.
Let's hear it from you, Flan.
I really like this one. It was not what I expected for the opener, but it kind of reminded me, at least with the way your playlist opens, it reminded me of our old Schmouder sets where we would do something really weird and maybe ambient, maybe folk music, maybe something just really stupid, and then go into an actual song. But this was cool. Like, on its own, it was a really kick-ass beat to listen to. Caleb thought he was going to hear Mos Def chime in at some point. I felt like it was going to have a big Wu-Tang presence on this one.
Dude.
It was super cool. I really enjoyed listening to it, and very regularly go back and just listen to the Wu-Tang beats on their own. I'm coming for more Madlib for the same reason.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's that East Coast vibe, you know.
Well, I guess Slim's return ain't nothing to fuck with. So, what about the next one? The Whip by Every Time I Die.
Yeah, man. So it's no secret I love Every Time I Die. Instead of putting one on that we've all heard a million times, that like which could be so many tracks from there that I would put on from them that I would put on here, I wanted to take something off their new album. And this one just for whatever reason stood out to me. I think just the idea of, being under the whip, under the guise of like, living life, making money. It's kind of bullshit anyway. So take your fucking anger out if you want. Scream about it a little bit. This song just had energy to it and kind of, I don't know, thought it was a banger and a hard turn from the fucking first one.
For sure. What do you think of it, Dusty?
Well, it's classic Every Time I Die. I've not heard much of their stuff lately. And when did this album come out?
It's 2001. Recently. Yeah, I looked at it. It's 2001 release.
Or 2021?
Or yeah, 2020. Did I say 2001?
Yeah,
that was a long
2021.
Time ago.
My bad.
Pre 9/11. Pre
9/11.
Off by a couple decades there.
Yeah, it all blends.
What is time?
90s was 10 years ago. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, I wish. But no, it's classic Every Time I Die. I assume the whole album's kind of like their normal groove, their sound.
It's got some hits, man. I mean, they've just like, what I like about them, especially at this particular stage in their like band life, is that they're kind of like they're kind of sure of their sound and what they do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They knew who they are. They're not going to try and be something else that they're not.
Yeah, and I really can appreciate that if you're authentic about it, And Keith has always been a hell of a fucking lyrical writer, amongst other things, dude. Like he used to put, I don't know if he still does it, but he used to post like shit on like short stories and shit online. The dude's a hell of a writer, and he is a fucking entertaining guitar player. I think Jeremiah pointed out that he's also a fucking wrestler now on the side. So,
professional wrestler.
Like not in like WWE big circuits, but yeah, he's like he wrestles in like some sort of like
the Indies,
he's
little circuit or something.
Circles. He's in one of those underground circles where they like smack each other with thumbtacks and shit.
Oh.
Dude,
jumping and breaking through tables, stabbing each other.
In the Juggalo Wrestling League.
But pretty fucking legit
go
for
to
that.
watch a Juggalo Wrestling League show.
Hell yeah. Juggalo's life, bro.
Can you imagine the hype at that event? We should trademark that and then license it to them.
Back to the Whip. I thought that song, like it's very like it's clear it's Every Time I Die for sure, but I don't know. It's that I haven't listened to the rest of the album, and I'll definitely check it out. But it seems heavier for sure, heavier to me, which is good. But it seemed to be missing some of that like clean groove that like Gutter Phenomenon did. Which that was like, I've always liked Every Time I Die, but that's the only album that got a ton of play for me. So I'll definitely go through and check this album out because they still have that tone. So it's definitely something to check out.
Hell yeah.
What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, it was so obviously Every Time I Die, even though it was a song that I'd never heard before. As soon as it went into the song, I knew who it was.
Yeah.
I'm honestly not the biggest Every Time I Die fan. There's maybe 3 or 4 of their tracks that I actually listen to and enjoy, and it's the ones that are probably the least Every Time I Die and like the most rock and roll of what they have. So in that element, I didn't really hear a whole lot of in this song, or any actually. So I don't know. It's not my favorite Every Time I Die track.
Fair enough.
But it was. I actually didn't know that they had a new album. I had no idea that this would have been like recorded 10 years after their last thing that I heard that came out. That sounds exactly like Every Time I Die as I remember them, like crystalline, locked into place. That is what they sound like.
Yeah.
And so they came into their sound and they locked that shit in. So that's pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna go check the album out to find a different song though.
Well, what about you, Caleb?
I don't have strong feelings one way or the other about Every Time I Die. Like, they're cool. I think it'd be fun to see live. That would be a hoot.
Fucking hell, yeah.
And it always reminds me of Drunk Jared, like punch dancing in a corner. So I enjoy that. It's
Sunny D somewhere in sight.
it's oh, man. There's another gallon floating around too. But yeah, good times.
Oh fuck yeah.
But yeah, like to me, it's like it's not like the heavy music that I gravitate towards, but I have no problem listening to it. It's better than It's Fine. But yeah, it's Every Time I Die. It's their classic album from 2001. But yeah, it's true. Like their kind of sound is, it has a very uniform quantum structure, if you will. It's,
Yeah, well,
you know what
I mean,
you're getting.
I think, being a band for multiple decades, like, it's like, I don't have a problem with bands that when they change their sound. Like, it's obvious, like, you as a human, if you create things, you might want to adapt the new things that enter into your life, and like that might change, your sound if you're a musician, or like your style if you're painting, or whatever. And that's healthy. But it's also like interesting when, I guess, if you're like so assured of yourself, like you make a fucking life around like, I'm bringing people to this like particular style. You know what I mean?
I think that's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't say that in a negative way at all. It's like, that's their sound, and they're sticking to it, and I think it's a good move. And I prefer this greatly to, say, another band that would do a similar thing, like AC/DC.
That's true.
AC/DC.
Ain't broke.
Well, speaking of AC/DC, what about On the Way by Dinosaur Jr., our next song?
It's the first time, everyone.
Dinosaur Jr. Has always been one of like the 90s bands that I randomly gravitated towards. Like, and it was mainly because growing up, my mom's like best friend, who was like a fucking aunt to me, named Sherry, she had like a fucking uncle who passed away or something like that. And my mom and me were helping her clear out his apartment, and he had all these records. And like, I didn't know dick all about fucking records at this point in my life. And so I was like floating through looking at like the coolest covers. And I specifically pulled out this one with this album. And that's what got me kind of like into Dinosaur Jr. eventually, along the way. And this, I just like, I like so many things about some 90s acts, like the squeakiness, the fucking noise, the droniness of the vocals, like, all matched with like some of that kind of grungy energy at times. Like, I don't know. I guess, the grunge of it all a little bit. But yeah, Dinosaur Jr., man, I think it kind of ripped pretty well in from Every Time I Die. It was I think it was an all right flow from one track to the next there. It was like squeaky right out of it. So,
yeah,
how'd you guys
for
feel about
sure.
it?
Yeah, I don't know. I do know. In high school, I feel like both you and Scott Weiss talked about Dinosaur Jr. a lot. And I remember Dusty listening to him a lot too. And I just never gave him the time of day. Like, I don't remember listening to Dinosaur Jr. at all. But then like a couple years ago, I'm looking at the album. They put out an album in 2016 called Give a Glimpse of What You're Not. And I was listening to a podcast, and Henry Rollins was on it, and he was talking about how he went to a Dinosaur Jr. Concert like the night before, and I was like, maybe I need to give these guys a fucking chance, and I did, and I loved that fucking album. It was great. And so I've dabbled in them a little bit over the last couple years, but not any. I looked, this album's from 93, and so I hadn't really gone this far back into their catalog, but I liked this one a lot. And so this is right up there with my favorite ones on the playlist.
Oh fuck yeah.
So, what about you, Nick?
For me, okay, so I have almost the exact same story, except that 2016 moment never happened for me. So this was actually my first time listening to a Dinosaur Jr. track because for whatever reason I just never decided to listen to them after hearing.
You definitely have
James
heard.
Fat.
You definitely have heard "Feel the Pain."
Probably. I wouldn't be able to tell you what that sounds like.
They're by far their most popular song, but yeah.
Well, I wish I had listened to them earlier because this song was super goddamn cool and it was raw and it was aggressive, which was not what I was expecting for what it is, which is, I mean, are they grunge or are they like outside?
I mean,
grunge?
I would say they're grunge adjacent, dude. Like I wouldn't call them full grunge, but they, you know, like they have like some of the elements of that like time period. You know what I mean?
I mean, there was. I mean, they shared band members with like some of the major bands of that era, didn't they?
I believe that they've been kind of they've had members like sort of interchangeably like that. Like
definitely.
But it's
I like adjacent. That makes sense.
yeah, we'll call them that.
But it's a super cool sound. I'm definitely gonna be checking out more Dinosaur Jr. in the future. This was a nice little treat for me.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Let's hear from the guy who likes them or liked them even in the past. What do you think, Dusty?
Oh, it's a good song. It's always, I would consider them indie grunge,
Okay,
I guess.
Yeah.
Alt grunge. I mean,
Yeah.
not quite grunge. Like music wasn't as shitty as some of the other grunge band just back in the day, but they have more of that indie feel that was always more up my alley. You know, they're definitely on the outside. And if I were around the 90s like that, they'd probably be up there. But I'd probably be like, oh, fuck Nirvana, their mainstream bullshit.
Yeah, dude.
We listen to Dinosaur Jr. here.
DJ or bust,
Yeah.
man.
But yeah, I like the dirty sound of it too. And just like you're immediately like, wow, this is from the 90s.
Definitely. I just like I said, I love the noise, like that, like fucking the extra fuzz or whatever the fuck happens. Like, I like the extra space filler, you know.
Well, somehow I feel like there might be a hot take coming. So let's hear from Caleb.
Yeah.
What?
I think it's great. I'm glad you guys enjoy Dinosaur Jr. I've probably also heard one of their songs before. This is probably like the first one I really like.
Just so everybody knows, he almost rolled his eyes. It looked like when he said that.
Yeah, I fucking hated this. Like a lot. I don't like play the flute, Nick.
I was trying to, but I can't get a note out of it right now. My lips are dry.
What'd you have? What was your beef with the DJ?
Sorry, I got distracted. I want to think about anything else.
By the flute man.
Yeah. I just
Flautist.
it's fine. Like the actual music, the band, it's kind of just, you know, typical. It's just rock. It's kind of generic. I like the wah pedal solo. I'm a fan of the wah pedal. Not a popular opinion, but the vocals are what killed it for me. It's just like he's doing this thing. Like he sounds like one of those girls with the fry in her voice. Like, I don't know.
Valley Girl.
Yeah,
It's
and then
Valley Girl. Valley from the Valley.
the chorus on the way. Just I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm sorry. I really didn't like this.
I'll give it 2 more. Damn, dude. All right.
Excited to move on.
The dinosaurs are extinct.
Yeah,
Although
fucking great.
It was like, I mean, they put out some music, I think earlier this year, a couple tracks, though.
But to be fair, I also hate Nirvana and just basically all of that bullshit from that time. I'm not a grunge fan.
Fair enough. Okay.
And I wish my
good
Instagram would
to
figure
know.
that out because I'm tired of the Kurt Cobain memes.
Did you just have a bad time in the 90s? Because you don't like grunge.
Yeah.
You don't like ska.
I
What do
missed
you
all
want?
of it.
You don't like
I
pop
didn't-
punk? Get the fuck out of here, man.
It wasn't my childhood. I was having Jesus shoved down my throat.
Yeah, what you were listening to? Like, isn't Toby Mac like a super popular Christian artist? You
I
a
don't
huge
even
fan
know.
of that?
No, I'm not a
Dude,
fan of any of it.
You guys don't even
Stand
know,
up,
man.
You definitely
Sometimes I
are.
have to beat Jeremiah back with a stick at the playlist he wants to submit you guys He wants to. He wanted to submit like an all Christian playlist,
Oh, God, no.
and he swears that he's gonna throw music in our face that's like that is in quote unquote enjoyable. I think so. That's what I'm saying.
Then.
Nice cold.
I was like, that's dangerous territory, man. I don't know.
I'm gonna be so cranky if that happens.
Is he evangelizing us?
No, I think he just
Proselytizing over there.
You know the boy. He likes to poke the bear. He likes to rustle feathers.
Yeah, he does.
He hears us talk too much shit about a
relationship.
particular thing, and he's gonna make a fucking playlist with that particular thing.
I respect that.
Well,
It's a long game.
well, then why don't we just move on to the next track and go on to Japan by Yacht Club?
Take a little trip, dude. So speaking of the fucking devil, Jeremiah turned me on to Yacht Club, man. This track is just so fucking like, for some reason it just like puts me in this weird laid back yet productive state of mind, and I like it. Just every time I put it on, it hits for me. I don't know why, but yeah, it's just ever since he threw it my way, I've just been like jamming on it. So I had to put it on here because it's been like on repeat for months.
I totally agree, man. The guitar riff in there is catchy as fuck. Like, I really like it. And then the vocals come in and they're super unique and fuzzy, and I liked it a lot.
Hell yeah.
Another one. This might be fighting with Dinosaur Jr. up there at the top, but maybe let's just jump right back in for some more hot takes, and let's hear from Caleb.
I didn't hate this as much. It's this one's fine.
Okay.
The lyrics, or the lyrics. I don't know what the lyrics are, but the vocals they're okay. That's probably like my least favorite part, but they're not offensive. I do like the spacey kind of lo-fi, laid back vibe, and it's almost kind of surf rock ish, but it also kind of reminds me of like some of that like kind of old school like 80s goth like music, like maybe.
Okay, yeah.
There's a little bit of that in there, at least with the guitar anyway, but it's catchy and I've liked it the more I've listened to it. So at first I was like, what is this, Tim Taylor noise? But no, it's pretty good.
Hell yeah.
You look like you had something, Flan.
I did, but I forgot what it was. Or no, I whatever it was, I couldn't remember the name of the crucial thing that I was trying to think of, so it was a useless thought. And that was a useless statement. I keep worrying that I'm gonna like get in trouble for distracting the class and like get sent out into the hall or something.
Well,
Please mute your mic if you're
my
going to.
third grade teacher used to do that to me all the time. I learned how to all the cuss words in third grade, and I started teaching everybody in class and started cussing all the time. And my third grade teacher would always send me out in the hallway and just make me sit out all day out in the fucking hallway.
It was a noble endeavor.
Yeah,
We're trying to share knowledge, and I don't think
Exactly.
a teacher should punish a child for that.
I know, it was fucked up. They censored me. Okay.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
Refuse to hear the truth.
Well, what do you have to say about Yacht Club, Flan?
What the fuck is Yacht Club?
This fucking song, Japan.
You fucking ding.
Go in the fucking hall.
You bitch.
Oh my god! All right, so and my actual feelings regarding Yacht Club Japan. This song was a fucking vibe. It immediately in my head, I knew when I heard this song, I was like, I'm gonna listen to this exactly at the moment after I get past Aberdeen when I'm heading out to the beach to go surf again my next time. This is driving by the ocean music.
That's fucking rad.
It was cool as shit. This was like, to me, this is just reading as the indie genre of music. And it was, I feel like I listened to so many bands that were kind of like this, but weren't enough like this for me to like them this much. Like they were just trying to be what Yacht Club did on this song. I don't know if any of Yacht Club songs are as good as this one, or at least if I'm going to like them this much, but this is a banger. I'm going to come back to this one in surf season.
Sort of varied in sound, I'd say overall, but this one, particularly, like you said, dude, this particularly has just like that vibe to it.
like instantly put me back into the headspace of like when I first decided I was gonna try to be an indie hipster kid, and I was like wearing skinny jeans and listening to this kind of music all the time. Immediately put me back there.
Yeah.
Those jeans were too tight.
Are your jeans nice and tight there, Gil?
We're wearing sweatpants.
Oh,
Yeah, boy.
Preparation
I'd
for
tell you
the,
those
for the
sweatpants.
next few days.
are they gray sweatpants? Because I hear the
Yeah.
ladies like those.
The gray Seahawk sweatpants.
Nice.
Yeah.
But what do you
Nice.
think about Japan?
Oh, I like this. This type of music I listen to all the time. So I can't quite put my finger on which band this reminds me of. And maybe it's like Nick said, it's a collection of a lot of these indie bands. But like, it's like they took all the different sounds that you would typically hear in an indie song these days and combine them into one song. Like the spacey guitar, the lyrics that are, or not the lyrics, but like the vocal styling, you know, the effects on that. But yeah, I can't put my finger on which band exactly it is, but it's something. I mean, I like this stuff, the kind of stuff I regularly listen to. I'm kind of surprised they haven't popped up on my daily playlists or anything like that. But I'll have to check them out more. I do like the surf rock vibe to it. Took me a while to catch on to that, but I mean, the album cover is like a surf, like a wave or something. So
Like a skeleton surfing.
yeah, so I'll have to check them out more. I'm
Bones
sure it'll
up.
start to pop up more in my playlist as I've listened to this song. So
Fucking
Well,
hell yeah.
I guess that brings us down to Pressure by Billy Joel.
Yo.
Which I gotta say, dude, this is a strange pick, but let's hear about it.
All right. Two things. So, one, this song is in the first episode of The Boys season 2, and that's where I heard it for the first time. It is, and it's the synth, dude. The synth that just fucking got me. I was like, what the fuck is that? And then like looking it up, being like, this is a Billy Joel song, and then like listening to the whole song. And to me, there's some really kind of like interesting fucking moments in this song that I wouldn't, and maybe that's just my cursory knowledge of Billy Joel, but I wouldn't like peg it's Billy Joel. And then there's just like some really fucking bizarre moments in this song, like so lyrically, like especially, and you're just like, what the fuck is happening? But it's like that you know, that fucking synth that just like goes hard in the middle, like all like randomly throughout, you know, for some reason it keeps me coming back, I suppose.
Well, let's hear the opinion of our resident synth expert, Flannery.
I gotta say, I also thought this was a bizarre choice, and I knew it sounded familiar, and I had no idea, but it absolutely was The Boys where I first heard this song.
Yo.
And so I'm thankful that you showed it to me. I don't know how much I'm gonna be listening to this going forward. I really like the synthesizer part, like that main kind of brass stabby part where
Yeah.
that part was sick as fuck, and someone should like sample that, turn it into like a big ass beat of some type.
100. That's what I kept thinking. I was like, what a fucking interesting thing that would be to sample. But I am so bad at sampling, so.
The rest of the song was, I don't know if I'm going to be the biggest fan of this song. I did like the part where Lil Jon showed up for one shout out. He just shows up like right in the back minute. Pressure!
I know, dude. And that was one of the bizarre things I kept getting like hooked on. I was like, he's just like randomly like yelling the word pressure. Like,
That was a Lil Jon feature.
I'll tell you what it means. He just like says weird things in the middle of it. Like, this is a bizarre fucking song, man.
It's very strange.
Intriguing, really.
On that note, I'll just say that the Piano Man wasn't doing it for me on this track. I wasn't a big fan of this one. I don't know what The Boys is. Is that a show I should check out? Is it
Absolutely
good?
Oh yeah, dude. It's a superhero show that Amazon produces that is based off of a series of I can't remember if they're graphic novels or comics, whatever, some, you know, medium. But either way, it's really cool because it's like a really interesting, like more I don't know, you just see some really like nice brutal moments. It's just a really like interesting fucking take on a superhero show. It's not a Marvel show, that's for damn sure.
If you were to take like a Marvel show but make it extreme mature rating,
Yeah.
a lot more gore, then that's where I would put The Boys.
It's like Marvel meets a like Mortal Kombat with its gore, you know?
Okay. Well,
I gotta like also flip the script.
Maybe
on
some
basically
Watchmen-y
every-
vibes to it too.
Yeah, I'd put it more akin to the story of Watchmen, not the movie. Maybe the HBO show though.
The HBO show for sure.
Yeah,
Didn't see the movie. Heard bad
it
things.
flips the script on superheroes. That's what it does.
You know, the beef I fucking had with the Watchmen movie was that like it like completely there's just that like the why switch the fucking ending of that movie. Where the pivotal moment in that movie is not that everybody fucking hates Dr. Manhattan. It's that the world unites behind an alien threat, right? And anyway, anyway.
No, I don't understand why he changed that because so many parts of that movie were so well executed, and then they just fuck up that part of it. I don't get it. I'm there with you.
Either
we're
way.
both dying.
The
on-
series.
All right, we
Very
hate the
good.
Watchmen movie, and most of you seem to not like the pressure by Billy Joel. So
well, let's hear from Gil because
Gil,
he might
come on.
have something to say.
At
save me.
first, I was like, I didn't look to see who this was, and like, who's this fucking knockoff Kmart John Lennon motherfucker? Because at first it kind of sounded like, you know, somebody ripping off the Beatles, but then I was like, oh my god, it's Billy Joel. But
Oh my god.
I mean, I like Billy Joel's other stuff quite a bit, and this was different, but it started to grow on me for sure, especially
Yes.
that catchy, you know,
Dude, it eats away at you.
and yeah, like the first like verse is about having a gun in your face. You're
Yeah.
like, what are you gonna do? Pressure. Okay. Well, yeah,
What
I
about
was-
you, Caleb?
I like it, so I'll give him that.
Fuck yes. I got one.
This song kind of raises my blood pressure.
Yeah.
It's just so random and it makes me a little anxious, and it reminds me of Threat Level Midnight from The Office.
Oh my god. Yes. This would have to be in that movie at some point.
It's when they're
No,
ice
it
skating.
would have to be. Oh my!
That's the
Oh
other place
shit!
I've heard this.
It totally
Oh,
is,
yeah.
dude. Oh my god! Such a good call, Caleb. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Skating scene.
It just reminds me of like I think that's what I'm feeling anxious about is because like Golden Face is trying to kill Michael Scarn, and then
Dude,
he just
Everybody
chokes out
trying to
Oscar.
go to Scarn.
He just chokes him out like and brutally murders him with an American flag in the locker room, and I just
I love that it's
He has to
has to
kill
be
an
with an
ice skater.
American flag. Like,
He has to murder an innocent ice skater.
I'm
so
so
he could
sorry
steal his
about this.
suit. He couldn't incapacitate him or do anything else. He had to murder that ice skater because he's
it
Yeah,
made
that's
everyone
fun.
uncomfortable.
I don't know
Yeah,
if
it's
I
not
agree
a
with
quick
Michael
scene
Scarn's
either.
methods.
It makes me feel like that is unfolding in my heart, and it's a really weird fucking song, and I just want to know what the fuck was going on with all of those old like rock bands when they went through the 80s. Like, what are you guys doing?
Cocaine, man.
A lot
drugs.
of coke.
It was
Yeah, this
Blues.
reeks of cocaine psychosis. The
Lot of
synth is
blues.
That's what I'm
weird.
saying, dude. Like, one of the most interesting things to me about this track is that he sounds like Billy Joel's losing his fucking mind.
Yeah.
like it sounds like he was like just going fucking crazy writing, and he's just I can just see these lyrics scribbled down on like a half sheet of paper, and he's just going all fucking like he's oh yeah.
I want to be in the
papers.
room. I want to be in the room when he like pitches he explains the song to his band. Like, okay, we're gonna do this weird reggae part, and then we're gonna do this scary synth part, and then at the end, I'm gonna yell pressure. And
Before
It's-
we record this, you guys got to drink like 12 cups of coffee.
it's real weird.
It's fucking
But it's not bad.
nuts, man. Yeah, everybody snort their line of cocaine, snort their line of no-dos. Let's hop on that recording.
Well, speaking of anxiety, how about number 5 with a bullet by Taking Back Sunday?
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good transition. I love it. gosh, yeah, the whiny boy in me still has that like affinity for Taking Back Sunday, 100%. You guys know this. I didn't know fully what track to put on. This was just like a random pick off that album. I do like this track, but in hindsight, I probably could have picked a better one off the album. But either way, this is probably my favorite album from Taking Back Sunday, and it's the one I always go to when I think about Taking Back Sunday. I haven't kept up with too much of their new stuff, but there's always a special place in my heart for this album, I suppose.
Yeah, listening to it, like, I know in previous episodes I've kind of confessed my love for emo music, but I feel like this one, it's so goddamn dramatic. Like, listening to it, I was like, was this what we seemed like to our parents at the time? Because it is so much melodrama that it was almost a little bit too much to bear listening to as an adult.
You need to go back and listen to some Senses Fail, because it is so much more than you.
Is it more? Because I mean, I've been to a Senses Fail concert. I used to listen to Senses Fail quite a bit, so maybe I'll go dive into that. But
dramatic shit I've heard. Cut my heart out, bury me out in the backyard, and there's ambulances trying to resuscitate me at any given moment because of I don't know, my emotions. What about this one, Flan? What do you think about this song? I love Taking Back Sunday. I don't listen to every one of their songs. This is one of the ones that I listen to pretty regularly. I had Cute Without the E on my playlist, actually.
Yeah.
And it was a banger. So maybe you could have picked a better song than the one you picked, but you weren't picking one better than Cute Without the E. I don't make the rules. But it was a good song. I like the band. I don't have any big profound thing to say about it. I did want to point out that, did you ever notice that in a lot of their songs, for a 4-line verse, they'll just repeat the third line twice?
Oh man,
I really gotta hand it to you.
Yeah, you're right.
Really gotta hand it. He does it like 18 times throughout that song, and then also in every other one of the songs that they have that I'm aware of.
Dude, that's a good call, honestly.
It's kind of a telltale sign you're listening to TBS.
Trademark.
What do you think, Dusty?
All on the same boat as Nick. This stuff always pops up on my daily stuff. Just classic indie emo, takes me back probably to 2007, 2008, that era. Like I said, nothing crazy to say about it. I enjoy it, and I won't hate on this stuff, especially as I've gotten older. I've appreciated it more and more. But I get where it's coming from. Man, our parents would have, what did your parents think when you were listening to this? How whiny we were.
Yeah. Well,
Angst.
Caleb, I never associate you with emo music, but I know you've said many times that you like this album. So do you have some strong feelings?
No. I've listened to this album by them the most, and I think, if memory serves, this is probably my least favorite song on the album, but that doesn't mean I don't like it. Like, I agree. You could have picked a better song, and any song is better than Cute Without the E, including this one.
You're fucking wrong.
Oh, deal with it. But no, it's I don't have any problem with it. It's whiny and it's nostalgic for me. I think this came out in 2004. Yeah, no complaints, nothing bad to say about Taking Back Sunday. And I am not scared of the Power Rangers, Nick, because I miss the 90s. I don't know anything about that.
You shouldn't be scared of the Power Rangers, but you should be scared of Zordon.
And you should also be scared of King Rat, like our next song by Modest Mouse.
That's true.
Dude, don't fuck with the King Rat, man. Maybe we're all a little bit. Maybe I feel like I'm a king of the rats. Maybe I'm not. Maybe Charlie's the king of the rats because he's got a bigger bat. I don't know. Either way, Modest Mouse is like, there's always gonna be a spot in my fucking music library for Modest Mouse. I think on the last episode of this with my playlist, I had the Whale song on there, which is a ripping song off this album. But I wanted to pick a different, and this has like such a Modest Mousey sound to it, you know, that it just like really fucking scratches that itch. And lyrically, you know, it's a really interesting song too. And so I don't know, everything from this particular album, like always, I can listen to this album. Like it's like a little, I think it's technically an EP maybe, but it just fucking bangs for me. And again, you know, long ago, I think, you know, I probably was into like so many people, I probably got into Modest Mouse for the commercial hit that they like, the Float On, and then that sucked you into the album. And then mainly because of Access, I don't think I ever listened to like much past that album until I was able to get my hands on like pirated music libraries and shit like that, and get like other fucking like albums, and then all of a sudden experience this wide breadth of like dirtiness that Modest Mouse has that I fucking love so much. And you know, this I think is just a really it's kind of a good slightly good representation of that. I didn't want to go all the way back, but you know,
go back to Polar Opposites, and stuff like that.
Although there's some cuts that like I do love. I just, you know, it's again with Modest Mouse, like you can make a whole playlist of Modest Mouse songs. For sure. Like you just have to cut it down to something. And I chose the King Rat. I caught it by the fucking tail and threw it on the table here for you boys to feast on. So
bash it against the table.
Yeah.
Well,
you got to make sure it's dead.
I think I remember like all of our high school career, or I don't know how else you want to say it, but all of high school, I remember Dusty's ringback tone on his cell phone being Third Planet by Modest Mouse. So we should probably hear from him first.
What about that?
Oh, I forgot about ringbacks. Those were a wild thing.
It was the ringbacks were so hard to hear what was going on. So every time I called you, it took me a couple minutes.
It was like somebody was like recording, listening to a recording through a megaphone. They recorded then on a cell phone. That's ringback tone.
Oh my god,
That's true cult.
But yeah, if you were to listen, if you listen to this album, you would think that it was like pre it was like more classic grungy, but I think this came out like 2010, 2011 or something like that.
I looked today, it was 2009.
Yeah, so it was like right after it's like We're Dead Before the Ship Even Sank. I think I saw them on that tour. But yeah, it is classic Modest Mouse. Kind of hits all the random shit. You know, they got all their horns and everything. Makes me definitely want to go back and listen to that Moon in Antarctica and all the other shit. And I don't think until probably a year or two ago I really understood the meaning behind Third Planet, and I believe it's about a miscarriage, if I remember right. It's very dark.
Dang.
But yeah, I always love Modest Mouse, and they're good act. See live as well. They're a 15-person band. It's insane.
Dude.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I thought, like, initially hearing this, I thought this has to be from their back catalog. It has just such a classic Modest Mouse sound, and I don't know, they're such a unique band. Like, especially, I don't know, they didn't have a ton of, like, I don't know this for sure. It doesn't seem like they had a ton of commercial success besides Float On, you know, but they had a huge like cult following, and they just have such a fucking unique sound that they're fucking great. I like them a lot. I like this song. I think I'll go through and listen to this EP. And I can't remember. God, they put out an album like 20 has to have been like 16, 17. Something Circles or I don't know. But that's a great album too. Anyways, What about you, Caleb?
Oh man, I think you guys know how I feel about Modest Mouse, and
I don't.
You like Modest Mouse too?
No, I don't. I really don't. I'm glad you guys like them, and gonna going to one of their shows, I would probably go sleep in the car. And it's like, why do you need 15 people to play that? But it's
They've
just,
got like
I don't
horn
know.
section. They've
Oh,
got all
God.
sorts of instruments.
You
Actually play
expect
it-
Isaac
actually
Brock
play
to
it
do all
live.
of that?
Yeah,
Caleb?
I don't
Okay,
expect
well,
much
Nick
of
has high
anything from
expectations.
that guy. I don't know. It's like Modest Mouse in a nutshell for me, and this song's a great example of that. Is like, okay, here's an out of tune banjo, and then a drunk guy with a lisp is gonna yell, but then he's gonna whisper stuff to you, and he's gonna yell again, and
He's gonna yell
You're
right as
gonna-
you're really close. Your ears
Yeah.
really close.
like you're like, this is what it's like. It's like this is like sleep deprivation torture. Like you're almost about to fall asleep because it's so fucking boring, and then some guy comes up and goes "Rah!" in your face, and you're like, oh shit, and then he just never lets you sleep. You really want to.
Damn,
I don't
Isaac
like
Brock. Getting hit hard tonight.
I'm sorry.
Take
not
it back.
sorry.
Take the act back to Issaquah. That's what McGrady's saying.
Yeah, I
That's
don't know. It's
exactly
just-
how I feel when listening to Devin Townsend's
that's
voice.
fair.
Oh.
That's so you know how I feel listening to Modest Mouse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, fuck.
Sorry.
Well, before we move on to Flan, I'd just like to say the album I was talking about, Strangers to Ourselves.
Oh,
I
okay,
liked
yeah,
it
yeah,
a lot. But anyways, Nick, let's hear from you.
So I honestly, the description Caleb gave, or hang on, the description Caleb gave for the Modest Mouse sound, I feel is very accurate. But I also really like them.
Oh,
Oh,
So I grew up on the moon. Is that it? Yeah. You can't hear my drums; those are too quiet. I grew up on the moon and Antarctica, and so just hearing Modest Mouse basically always puts me back into like junior or senior year, and I'm walking to school because I don't have enough money for gas, and so because all I had to do was like walk along the canal, and we can get to the high school from that place. But Modest Mouse is cool to listen to again. This isn't my favorite of their songs, but to be perfectly honest, I'm just glad you didn't pick Float On.
yeah, dude, for real.
I've heard Float On. I don't. They have other songs. I like their other songs too. I don't
Dude, there's-
dislike Float On.
Yeah, I'm with you there, dude. Like, I don't dislike Float On. It's just, it's just such a shame that. I mean, and there's a shocking amount of songs off that album that I think are pretty fucking interesting, but it's just there's just so much better
It kind of feels like to
stuff from
a
them, I
lesser
think.
extent of like when people start talking about Rush and they're like, yeah, it's that band that played Tom Sawyer, and I'm just thinking, come on, man, they've had
so much better.
40
Yeah.
fucking years in a hit like every 10 years at least, and oh my god.
I
Yeah,
will
it's
say,
we get it. You watched I Love You, man.
Slap
Oh,
the
I
bass.
had one other thing. I had one other thing to talk about. Do you guys know what a Rat King is?
what's
Oh,
a wreck?
I mean, explain it. Yeah.
So-
What
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what is
okay.
this?
So, a Rat King, I found out about this pretty recently for some reason. A Rat King is when you have like a swarm of rats in a place and they're all kind of like piled on top of each other.
Oh,
Sometimes,
I think I saw this on Reddit.
sometimes a group of them will get their tails tangled
Yes.
together. And
Yes.
so you can get upwards of like 15, like 20 rats all just tangled together, and they can't
Ugh.
get untangled because they're like reflexively tangling each other more. And so they just die like that.
Yeah, it's basically like it's like
fucking
quicksand essentially.
It's like a halo of rat.
I watched the
Oh.
it was on Reddit, and I watched the whole video of them all dying slowly.
There's
There- oh, there's video evidence of this?
Yeah, it was like it was the Reddit page like mildly interesting or something like that, and it was like a quick time lapse of like this is what happens when these rats they're like in a pile, and it like it's a video but it kind of fast forwards or let's like edits it and slowly just like they're just dead, and it gets to the point where there's like one or two kind of moving and then they're just dead.
That's fucking
Sounds
gnarly.
Some of
up.
them starve to death or panic to death.
It's
That sounds more enjoyable to watch than to listen to this song.
You fuck. I will say, Just on a quick Modest Mouse note, like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong here, but I would say their second most popular song is Ocean Breeze Salty, and I think that's probably my favorite song that they've ever done.
That song's
For
way
myself.
better than Float On. Too,
Float
so.
On. Yeah, it's way better. But on that note, what about, what the fuck is this next song? What the Wall Said by Proto Martyr.
Yeah. I love Proto Martyr. There's so many things I like. I like the energy that the music has. I like that it's also kind of, it feels like it's dialed back in a way. Like it's energetic and get in your face, but it's never like fully in your face. And yeah, the vocalist is like the coolest motherfucker on the planet. He literally just stands at Jeremiah again. Jesus, just attribute everything to fucking Jeremiah over here. He's like years ago turned me on to them, and yeah, the vocalist is like this, like just he wears his sunglasses and his blazer, and he's older than everybody else in the band, and he just stands at the mic and just says these things or sings these things into the microphone. You know, like he's just so nonchalant. I don't know. I'm a sucker for it. But yeah, this song I just think is kind of, yeah, just a generally interesting idea of what the band is. So,
Well, I know I've heard you mention them at least twice, maybe more on this show. And I still hadn't looked into them. And I think after hearing this, I'll check them out more. Like it's kind of, yeah, this song's interesting. I won't say it like blew me away or anything, but it's fucking interesting, and I think it warrants checking out a little bit further.
there you go. You owe me money, Proto Martyr.
What do you think, Caleb?
It's okay. My biggest complaint is one, that somebody needs to teach this fucking guy how to EQ his guitar amp, because there's way too much bass, and it just I get they're probably going for like kind of a washed out sound, and they achieved it. Like if that's what you're into, cool.
That's how you get your kicks.
So I don't have like a problem with it. It's just not my flavor. There were some interesting kind of noise jammy bits. Like I like when it kind of picked up. Like that was cool, because the first like little bit when it's just like him and the drums and the guitar or whatever, it sounds like he's dying on heroin, and it made me sad. And then I kind of picked things up a little bit, and it's
pick up
it's
the
fine.
speed a little bit there with the
I might be a little unfairly harsh. Just I'm hungry, so I'm a little hangry.
Do you need to get a snack back?
I got some
No,
wasabi here for you.
Get this man a snack pack.
Some ginger, but I don't
Get a
have
boy a snack.
well,
Nick,
I'll
I
get
saw
sushi.
I
Do you
saw
have a
some
Gatorade on hand?
You get some meatloaf for this man.
I'm just gonna eat my feelings.
I saw some head nods out of you, Flannery, so let's hear your opinion on this.
Oh, Caleb's right. That guitar sounds like ass, but I think that's an aesthetic choice. These guys are kind of shoegazy for sure.
Shoegazy, yes.
I'm not a huge fan of shoegaze, but
What's wrong with homosexual shoes?
that's not that kind. It's gazing at your shoes
What?
because
They can sell whatever kind of shoes they want, man.
Yeah, bro. We're a gender shoe fluid podcast.
I support
doing okay there.
shoegaze.
I'm confused.
That gaze out of you right there, Nick. I thought you were frozen for a second.
I'm emotionally frozen.
Emotionally frozen. Okay, shoegaze is a good call. I always forget that shoegaze is a genre, and I bet if I actually spent more time listening to shoegaze music, I'd probably like it.
It's
Well,
not
you
a genre,
gotta-
it's a verb.
Well, I would say that you got to keep in mind that there are like some
It's something
shoegaze
you
bands,
do.
and then there are some like regular bands that call themselves shoegaze because they couldn't get a good recording.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm
Okay.
not gonna call out which bands are which.
I mean, it's like the
bands.
it's like the indie label, right? It's like
yeah.
you're like, ah, shit. Well, we sound like shit. Well, we're an indie band. It's an interesting sound.
That's,
Anyway.
that's it. And it's fine. The song, this is going to be my most sounding, it's fine, of the night. I don't have any complaints. It just, for me, it just kind of sounds like what I would, for the mood that I would be listening to this, I'd rather be listening to Yacht Club. So.
Well,
You could
I get a snare hit. Cool.
Yacht
What do
Club
you-
owes us money now too because we've mentioned them too many times.
what do you think of it,
Get used to reminding me
Gil?
how much money String Lights owes you guys.
I think I calculated earlier this week 5 million hand jobs is what
5 million
String
hand
lights.
jobs? All right. I'm going to get some lotion on these mitts. Not
You
mutts.
better wear a glove.
Everybody invest in Jergens now.
Joke's on you. I'm going for Gold Bond. The healing properties are intense.
I knew insider trading was a bullshit idea.
Proto Martyr Gil, go.
I don't know. At first, it was kind of boring, to be honest. Reminds me too much of The National. I don't know if you guys heard the band The
yeah.
National.
Yeah.
I've heard them.
Sings
I've
real
never
low.
really gotten into the National though.
Yeah, I never really got to him either.
Get
But
some
yeah, I mean, it's okay. The more I listen to it, it's all right. And, you know, once it picks up, it is a lot better. But yeah, I'll agree that it's fine. I've never really listened to this band at all, so I can't judge them too hard, assuming that their entire catalog is not homosexual shoes. So
money.
it's fine.
Is that where we're making the money now?
Yeah.
Homosexual shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I run this as a nonprofit and I make money on on shoegaze.
They're like, oh yeah, I'm wearing two right-footed shoes because they're gay.
Can I take this opportunity to plug my new business? I started a business. It's an energy drink for Asian homosexuals.
Is it Wolf Soda?
The main flavor is coconut penis.
Have you
Is it Robert California?
Maybe.
Wolf Cola, everybody.
I had to get him in here.
Hey man, we have a lot of sponsors this episode.
I bet.
Look, you're not getting any money out of Robert California. He owes a lot of
No, actually I owe Robert California more. He actually owns 56% of the stock, the shares of Old Heart Radio.
Oh,
So
he would too.
I sold him mine and then 6 of Jeremiah's. 6% of Jeremiah.
Was this on Shark Tank?
Yeah. No,
No,
we
it
were
was
in the
on
lobby of
Blacklist.
Shark Tank.
Well, I just have a feeling that energy drink might sell really well at Uptown Bollywood Nights.
Oh
That
yes.
makes sense. Maybe like the next song by Dan the Automator.
Yeah. Okay. So Dan the Automator, we all have a frame of reference for him from the project Deltron 3030, which is an amazing project. And though I could have put any number of tracks from there on here, as we know, again, I wanted to kind of focus on an element of that, and I wanted to choose Dan the Automator because I was like, damn, dude, like I have not dug into his like what's on Spotify from him right now. And listening to this, I just loved how fucking funky it was, how just kind of like how there's just like a drive to it. It, you know, it wasn't what I expected from a track by Dan the Automator, but it's like, I don't know, it just caught me, man. And I was listening to it on the way back from the airport one day, and I don't know why, it just like, yeah, just roped me in. What do you guys feel about this track? What's your thoughts? You guys gonna hit the nights?
Yeah, I don't think I will. Like, and I will say, like, I love Deltron 3030, and I think that Automator did just a genius, amazing, fantastic job on that. But this was super. There's so much fucking going on with this song. Like, it's so much that I couldn't really get into it. I won't say that it's like the bottom of the list by any means, but I don't think I would listen to it again.
Fair
So-
enough. Okay.
What about Gil? What do you think about this?
I'm in the same boat. I think the funkiness I like, but I don't know. It's just not my jam. I can see where people enjoy this, but
Fair
it
enough.
reminds me of maybe a montage scene from a
Oh yeah.
Dude.
this Austin Powers movie or something.
It's like a fucking like foot chase scene.
Yeah.
It's a soundtrack to a foot chase scene from a 1970s like I don't know,
But
some
it's
sort
like-
of exploitation film, you know.
That or it's like a slapstick comedy and or like race walk chasing.
At some point, Leslie Nielsen trips over something during this scene.
Slips on a banana peel.
Yep, whoop, whoop, whoop.
Well, I've seen a lot of head nods out of Caleb, so let's hear your take.
So I was getting montage vibes as well, and I was like surprised when I put it together. I'm like, oh, this is the Automator. That's crazy, but I liked it. I thought it was fun and weird and silly, and the album cover is great. It just looks like all these pictures from what I imagine the soundtrack to this, like this song is for, is like a fever dream of a montage running around doing crime in some city in India.
Yeah.
And it's
Which
just
one?
wild. I don't know. New Delhi, maybe?
It's Bombay, man. It says
Oh.
right there.
Oh, it does. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, okay, we're Bombay. My bad. I've never been to India.
Mumbai is what it is now.
Okay, whatever. But anyway, I also like the font on the album cover, where I missed what the fucking city was that I was trying to talk about.
Just the font that you didn't read.
The font's cool because the E looks like a little Pac-Man. This one's up there for me, honestly. Like this is top of the list for me. I really like this one.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Well, let's hear from our Old Heart Radio's India geography expert, Nick.
Did you know that in some parts of India you can grow bamboo?
Did know that.
Oh, what?
Probably grow bamboo in every part of India. You can't kill bamboo. That it just grows.
You can grow, you can,
bamboo.
you can grow bamboo in Wenatchee.
You can
No,
put bamboo.
You can grow
I feel-
bamboo anywhere.
I got bamboo right here.
I'm pretty sure I am a goddamn idiot because until I listened to this, it never occurred to me that I could just go listen to Dan the Automator. I always like, man, Dan made some really kick-ass beats for Dell on his albums. And I just never figured that I could just go listen to more of those.
Yeah, like what? Honestly, dude, that was me one day. I was just like, what the fuck else has that cat done? Like, why haven't I ever dug into like extra shit? Like,
But it was great. I got the same montage vibes. I got a little bit of Tarantino. I got a little bit of like blaxploitation films of that era. I don't know. It was a lot of fun.
yeah,
Definitely
dude.
going to be putting this album on for more.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, I just thought it was a really like you just said. I just thought it was a really fun song. Like just a random one. Not as random as Pressure though. Okay, I'll admit that.
Well, speaking of just plain fun, how about City Hall, I Believe, and Malibu Nights by Tenacious D?
Yeah, boy. Okay.
Tanakh.
Tanakh. So, okay, everybody, we got, there was not going to not be a Tenacious D song on this playlist. The last episode, I think I had 2 songs on there. This one, I just wanted to put one of their fun ones on. And just like one of their ones is just like a fucking a Tenacious D, like kick ass, like, yeah, and that's all this song is. It's just, it's just a fucking redonkulous song about JB and KG fucking becoming like dual kings of the world. And like, then they murder each other. And there's like bullshit, like Shakespearean plot lines. So it's like, it's just ridiculous. It's fucking absurd.
It's such an epic like saga. It really is. And I don't know, now that I've gotten a little bit older, I feel like this is probably my favorite piece on that album. Like,
Oh, well, yeah.
yeah, like I think as I've younger days, like Hard Fucking and Dio. Wonder Boy is still great, but some of the stuff, like that album is a masterpiece, and I still love all of it. But this is just like, it's such a crazy story to go through. I fucking love this song.
Hell yeah,
And
dude.
So, yeah. What about Caleb?
I have nothing bad to say about Tenacious D. One of the best bands I've ever seen live. Still counting my lucky stars for that one.
So gnarly, dude.
Also, Explosions in the Sky and Snoop Dogg, Crazy Night, and The Prodigy. It's a random time. Anyway,
It was a
Tenacious-
random time.
it was, and this is a random fucking song. It's a wild ride. There's all this. There's talk of communism and poisoned wine and kinds of
The
weird
underground
shit.
bunkers.
Yeah, there's just like it's so quotable. Like you could just shout out any line from this, and like someone who knows is gonna be like, haha.
Little
Yeah,
two
it's-
kings.
It's definitely kind of a deeper cut of the D.
Yeah,
And-
for real.
I have nothing bad to say about it. Yeah, it's a classic. If you guys haven't listened to Tenacious D out there, fucking give your balls a tug, sort your life out, and get back to me once you have.
What about you, Gil?
Oh yeah, when I saw this on here, I went back and listened to it, and the first song being "Kielbasa Sausage" on that album,
Dude.
took me back to ninth grade music exploration class. Me and Flannery performed "Kielbasa Sausage" on a Friday. Well, obviously
It was
we
an
couldn't
instrumental
have
version.
It was the instrumental version. But we should have just said fuck it and just gone full on and played that
Singing
entire.
just about like rough anal sex in the
Yeah.
middle of Mr.
But yeah, that's
Big exploration class.
that whole thing, and it all. I mean, ultimately, it was the massive inspiration behind Jay Schmatter, El Capitan, just
Yeah.
where that exploded from, and so I'll always love Tenacious D for that. The later,
Hell yeah.
the Rise of the Phoenix was not a great album, but it's all still all right.
There's a couple of rippers on there, I think.
Mhm.
But yeah, there's nothing that quite like hits as much like this album. You
Where
know
yeah,
what I mean?
everything is just, even the skits.
you
throughout
just
it.
you jam on certain songs because you can't, because they rock, and it's just you laugh throughout the whole fucking thing. Like it's just like just such a like humorous, enjoyable fucking like front to back in a way.
Mhm.
So you guys just jarred a memory loose for me. I'm sorry before I jump into Nick's opinion, I have to tell you this story. So this must have been about ninth grade ish. And anyone who's been to Wenatchee or lived in Wenatchee knows that every year we have the Classy Chassis, which is a big fucking deal. And
Yeah.
so me and my stepdad at the time, we went and it was me and my brother. We went and took his truck. He had a big truck at the time, and we parked it on Grant Road so that we could, go down in the evening, sit in the back of the pickup with the whole family and watch the Classy Chassis, which was all fine and dandy. And me and my brother didn't think anything about it. We were listening to Tenacious D. It was fucking great. So Classy Chassis gets over, and we have my 95-year-old grandma with us, and my stepdad decides to drive her home. My brother is already left in another vehicle, so it's my stepdad and my 95-year-old grandma in the front of the pickup. I'm sitting in the bed of the pickup, and we drive home, and it's I can't fucking tell what's going on, but when we get out, my stepdad is so red in the fucking face and pissed off, and he gets off and he's like, you need to get in this fucking truck now and figure out what the fuck is going on with this radio. There's some filthy fucking shit playing right now. And it's fucking, apparently he drove my grandma home and listened to Hard Fucking and Fuck Her Gently going into Explosivo.
Why did you just turn
I don't know, because My
The silence
stepdad,
was more
Kevin
unbearable.
owns a wrecking yard. He knows vehicles better than anything. He should have just turned the volume down, but for some reason he couldn't figure it out and froze up. And they listened to the whole goddamn thing.
It sounds like a fun
I'm
move
doubting
by
his
Kevin.
motives. I think he listened to it on purpose because he thought it was funny.
Well, he was fucking furious when we got to the house. So,
Damn.
but after that juicy tidbit, let's hear Nick's opinion
Go City Hall.
on City Hall.
All right, I'm gonna start by touching on the story of this song, which is them starting riots. I guess. Well, no, that's the riot part. We're gonna start at the riots because let's just paint the picture here. This is the prologue of the film. Everything's burning down. They're throwing shit. They're kicking over shit. They're breaking fucking windows of small businesses, and they're setting fucking fires. And they burn down the entire world after hiding it down in a bunker. They decide to become a bilateral monarchy, utterly like totalitarian dictatorship monarchy. But communism is where they draw the line. Like, countless are dead in this scenario. World governments have been brought to a utter standstill, probably just eliminated entirely. The only way to survive was in bunkers, but communism has just taken it a step too far.
That's right. Commie fucks.
Those comics.
It's a good song. It's Tenacious D. I have all the same memories that you guys have because I was probably there for a lot of them. Of listening to this band. It's
The Tubes.
there's just something special about the first album that I don't know what it is. It's like the exact production level of it. It's the exact number of skits. It's the exact number of songs that devolve into skits or start from skits. It's just, I don't know. I think it's a perfect album.
I would agree.
It's a rich marinara, that's for sure.
Well, I know this last song on the list got a little play at the top, but fuck it, let's hear it again. The Ride by String Lights.
Oh yeah, so I did throw that on there, mainly because the world needs to know, and two, because I've just been ripping it fucking hard, dude. Like, it's one of those songs. I mean, we've all listened to it, but it's one of those like songs. It, for some reason, like, it's just applicable multiple times in the day. Like, I flipped it on when I was like looking at ingredients laid out on the counter, being like, what the fuck am I gonna cook? I put on the Ride, and then like I hashed out some delicious ass fucking meal.
Montage.
You know, like when I was opening the cafe, like I flipped this fucking track on and like juiced up some espresso and just like boom bap. It was like a fucking just like cake morning. I don't know, dude. It like legit like is a fucking ripper, and I just like I wanted to show appreciation to String Lights for the fact that like this song just kicks ass, man.
Well, String Lights appreciates you because that's my first cafe play.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely nailed it, Nick. Both songs are fucking great. I can't say that I could pick a favorite out of the two, but keep bringing the heat.
Yeah.
Caleb, let's hear.
I mean,
You're saying nice things about me.
No, I'm not going to. I fucking hate. No, I'm just kidding. This is great. It makes me like just burst out laughing, especially like the first like little verse with the synth, little da, da, da. Like I just thought of like 80s like exercise videos, and which is never a bad thing.
Oh, that's exactly what I was going for.
Who doesn't love leg warmers and leotards?
Yeah.
Right?
It's sit and be fit.
Oh
Yeah.
no, that lady wasn't this cool. No, it's just fun, and like I like listening to it when I'm driving, because that's the best use for this. I mean, I don't have a neon motorcycle in a cityscape, so I'll just drive my Honda and listen to this. But yeah, I got no beef with String Lights. This is fucking rad. I think if I had to pick a favorite, I think I like this one. I mean, it's like choosing a child, and neither of them are fuck ups. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just tasty. There's nice guitar solo. It's got the right amount of cheese, and I am all about munching on that cheese.
I tried to load it
I
up
don't
with a
know.
lot of cheese.
Gil, do you have a last word about string lights before we go to tops and bottoms?
No, I've listened to it quite a bit. It's I like the montageness to it. You're like, you could be rolling down a cityscape or on a chase of some sort. You know, I definitely passed it on to other people and they enjoyed it. So
Nice. Well,
when are we getting the goth Christmas song? Because that's TikTok. That's coming. Christmas is almost here, bitch.
I released it last year, and honestly, it's one of my favorite songs that I've made. I set out to write a rip-off hymn song with some 69 Eyes influence, and I succeeded.
It was like, some bullshit you hear on Viva La Bam or something.
But
That's immediately I thought of Viva La Bam or CKY or something like that.
and if I just had like a little bit more free time these days, I've been pretty busy. If I had a little bit more free time, I would love to actually sit down and write some goth Christmas lyrics to just like sing in some bullshit Billy Vallow voice and just like really complete that song and let it shine for what it is. But
One
I don't
day.
know. I don't know if I'm going to have the time to do it in time because it's November 23rd now. I've only got a month. That's not enough time.
32 days.
Yeah,
And ornaments are already out. Shit.
that's true.
Well, that brings us to the end of the list. So let's hear some tops and bottoms. And since String Lights didn't get to mention his own song a second time, let's hear his tops and bottoms.
All right, my top song on this was "The Ride" by String Lights. No, my actual top song. Oh God, I'm gonna have to go with Dan the Automator for this one, just because I was that excited to like realize because for some reason I couldn't realize that on my own that I could just go listen to Dan the Automator as an option. That's gonna be cool. I mean, for the same reason I'm gonna be listening to Madlib, and then I also got to throw Dinosaur Jr. in there on my tops of this list.
Nice.
On my bottom, I really don't have a dedicated bottom. I might. I'm not gonna put Billy Joel down there, but that song was weird. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to put that "Every Time I Die" song down at the bottom.
Wow.
The whip.
It doesn't feel good to do it. I'll say that much. I don't think "Every Time I Die" rates a bad rating. It's just the song I like the least on this one.
That's fair.
Well, Gil, what about you?
It'll be easy for me to pick, Modest Mouse or Tenacious D, so I'm not going to do that. Probably the Yacht Club song, because I've not really listened to that band before, and it's typical indie music bullshit that I like. So I'll put that up there. I'll check them out some more. I'm sure they'll creep into my daily shit now that I've listened to this.
Yeah, dude. That's exactly what happened to me. Like I had this on rotation and then like it just started creeping into my other daily mixes.
Yeah, if Devin Townsend creeps into my daily, I might just delete my Spotify.
Don't worry, you can get rid of them. It takes a while, but I think I've completely convinced my Spotify that the front bottoms don't exist.
Not
So if
not
I could
anymore, they're
accomplish
not.
that- fuck. If I could do that, you can get rid of it.
My least, like I said, I don't hate anything on this. I mean, these are all pretty much at my wheelhouse. Maybe what the Wall said, just because it's kind of boring at first, and just reminded me too much of the National, which I don't hate the National. It's just wasn't as original as the others. I don't get the hate on Billy Joel. Man is an icon.
He's a national treasure.
He set when are we gonna start the fire?
Well, Leb,
Yeah.
what about you?
Well,
got?
for tops, it's kind of tied between like Dan the Automator. That's just a weird, fun song. And for like similar reasons, like fuck Nick's feelings, but like just true and honestly, like The Ride is probably honestly the top one, because that's like I like that. I'll listen to that kind of music just anyway. And again, fuck Nick's feelings. I'm not trying to make him feel good.
Nick gets your tip. Nick gets your tip this week.
I do
No.
feel good.
Just the tip.
Damn it.
You made me feel good.
Oh, see, you're making him feel good.
You're doing it right now.
You're making
I
him
love it.
feel. You're making him feel good with your tip. Okay.
I feel so good.
Oh my god! But yeah, it was a good song. I like that one. Least favorite. Oh boy,
Yeah.
it's a really nasty quarreling wrestling match between Dinosaur Jr. and Modest Mouse. I would have to say I'm gonna tip the hat to Modest Mouse because I can get over the lackluster 90s vocals of Dinosaur Jr. and the rest of the song, the instruments are okay, but Modest Mouse, man, go just fuck your mother's god. I don't want to hear that shit anymore. I don't like them. I'm sorry, but
All right. Duly noted. I hope you find a rat king.
Yeah, I hope your dick doesn't turn to a rat king.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Wake up
That would be-
to a rat king dick.
So would that mean rats are tied to his dick, or a bunch
Yeah.
of dicks are tied together to his dick?
Ooh, a bunch
Slowly.
of dead dicks tied together to your dick, which is
How did
also
this
dying.
You started it,
Just a bunch
fuckface.
of dicks suffocating each other.
when you guys are mean to Devin, I don't do this to you.
Well, maybe you should.
Pieces of shit.
I'll take it.
Well, to contrast that, I say for my tops, Dinosaur Jr. and Yacht Club are fighting it out, but I'll probably give the nod to Yacht Club. That song, I don't know. I hadn't really heard much like that in a long time. I fucking dug it. I thought it was great. And I'm just going to take the easy out and go with Pressure by Billy Joel as my bottom. I don't fucking dig that at all.
How dare you?
Billy Joel can keep his cocaine.
So now it comes to the time. Let's hear Jared.
My
tops
tips and tops.
bottoms?
Yeah, I mean, I do. Yeah, there's lots of stuff on here that it's obviously hard to go through. My top particularly on this list, probably because I listen to so many of these regularly. Honestly, it's probably Slim's Return, just because of the fucking mellowness of it all. There's so much, though maybe I'm regretting that. I don't know that I am. I think that's my tip. I think Slim's Return is my tip, just because it's they were, how do I say it? It took the place on this playlist for a number of jazz songs that I also wanted to put on here, because I'm saving those up for another thing, another episode. And so I think it's a really great representation of like a whole side of music that we didn't, that I chose not to put on here. Everything else was pretty straightforward. I think my least favorite on this list is, it's probably Pressure by Billy Joel, just because that song is just like we were talking about earlier. You're just like, it's like it's a car wreck that you're just staring at, and you're just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, like it's a weird fucking song, but there's also something like strange about, like, there's something that sucks you back to it, because it has a certain like wild energy about it either way,
Very frantic.
Yeah, it can give you anxiety, I feel like,
Nope.
Caleb was saying, like but yeah, I'm honestly surprised you guys liked most of the tracks on this list. So that was surprising to me. So I'm gonna pat myself on the back on that one. I was put together something that's not trash, Bugg.
I was pretty impressed. Like I think I said earlier, I felt like you played it pretty safe with your 25 track one, and I felt like you really took some risks on this one and exposed me to some stuff I was not expecting, and it paid off in good ways.
Yeah, I would
Thumbs up.
agree. Like,
2 thumbs up from Dave and Buster's.
Some
and
decent
Barnes & Noble.
exposure, you would say.
I would say overall on this like there wasn't anything like when I listened to it the third, fourth time through, like there was nothing that I had to skip, and there's definitely been songs on other playlists that, mind you, pretty much anything by Devin Townsend is, as soon as I hear it, I just fucking skip it. But I'll listen to it the first time, but fuck any more than that. And I didn't feel that with this one. So
Yeah.
Gil, did you overall feeling?
Overall, good. Solid.
There's more than a feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't hate any of it. I'm not gonna backshot Caleb again there though. So
Well, this is the only one I got in. Dusty got more Devin Townsend hate in this week than I did. So I had to get at least one in there. So
it's not that he's a bad artist; it's his voice that pisses me off.
Yeah, you guys did play it a little conservatively this time with it. It's probably so you can let it hit harder the next time.
Are you guys gonna like start another podcast series where you just talk shit about Devin Townsend? Because
it's not a horrible idea. I don't hate the idea. I'll have to talk to Jared off camera about this, but
I don't know. It's like
Further development.
like this must be like the bad feelings of what a cuckold experience is. Just like
Evan Townsend would know.
just like, what are they doing to something I love so much? I just have to sit here and deal with it.
Oh,
Fuck.
That's so rough.
That's how I feel. Thanks.
oh my god.
So
We're
erotic.
cucking Caleb over Devin Townsend.
No.
And you know what? I'm not into it.
You
What's
eventually
your? Well,
will.
we gotta come up with a safe word then, dude.
Townies.
Townies.
That's so terrible.
I like that this is where we're ending the podcast.
At least Devin Townsend wasn't on this playlist.
I agree 100%.
Oh,
Great
God.
thing. It's great. But well, hot dogs. I feel like we're coming to the end of this one. I'm glad that I only have to do this week. I'm glad that the captain will step back in afterwards.
Oh,
So maybe let's just maybe I'll take a seat and let you finish it out. You have a way of doing
Oh.
this.
yeah.
Take a seat.
We can try.
You just didn't want to do the words.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the fucking words. God
Let's
damn it.
let's try the last words there, ladies and
damn it.
gentlemen. Okay. You know, it gets better with time. I think. Let's see. Who wants to go first? Who wants to give me a word? I'll remember 'em, I promise.
Well, I just looked on my nightstand and I have some chapstick. So chapstick.
Chapstick. Okay.
Brought to you by.
Yeah,
No,
chapstick.
we're not, no free pullout.
Cornucopia.
String lights. Chapstick cornucopia.
It's a holiday theme.
Chapstick and cornucopia. Who's gonna give me one?
Tomfoolery. Oh,
Fuck.
Wait. What? Well, one word at a time. I can't
Go
memorize
first.
all of them.
Solenoid.
Oh no. Chapstick, cornucopia, solenoid. Solenoid. All right.
tomfoolery.
Ah. Okay. Chapstick, cornucopia. Okay. Chapstick, cornucopia, solenoid,
Alzheimer's.
and yeah, symptoms of early Alzheimer's. And damn it. I did forget the last one with all that witty laughter and banter. Caleb, god damn it, you foiled me this week.
Let's go with Alzheimer's. That seems to be appropriate.
Alzheimer's? Either way, I hope everybody has a good night with all your chapstick. I hope it's a cornucopia of great times. Solenoid.
Do you know what a solenoid is? Anybody? But aside from Jameson?
Yeah.
It's not important.
Okay, fine.
I have a very, very loose and probably wrong understanding of solenoid.
You're the one who said it.
I know.
Hey, we can all say things,
It's a
okay?
cool
This is
word.
this is an open environment. This is all right. Seriously though, thanks for listening. I hope you all enjoy your festivities. If you feast.
Oh yeah.
Festivities. And seriously, thank you for whoever is actually listening to this out there, and thank you to you guys for actually like creating this show with me. It's been such a fucking
I'll just say that I'm thankful.
awesome thing, man.
Oh, maybe we all just say what we're thankful for.
That's even better. Let's fucking do that.
I'm thankful for Devin Townsend, so there's a never-ending thing we could just shit on.
God damn it, you took it from me. You stole it.
Anybody want to follow that?
I feel like we entered into this with in bad faith.
I'm thankful for the modern marvel that is a solenoid, which is an inductive activated switch, because without them, many of our wonderful technologies would not be possible.
Wow, thanks.
The more you know. I learned something. Yeah, I mean, I will say though, if we're doing things, I'm just gonna, I was saying it earlier, but I'm thankful for this show, guys. Like, you guys have pushed my musical tastes lately, and the reason why this playlist was had some more contemporary things on there than the last one was because you guys have like helped me kind of like reimagine my taste a little bit along the way, and some of these playlists that we've gotten from our friends have also done that. So, you know, thank you. But we'll leave it there. Corn dogs, hot dogs, whatever the fuck you are. Stuff a few of you dogs in a turkey and cook it all day tomorrow, next day, and listen to more old heart radio podcasts. We got 300 of these motherfuckers up online somewhere. Oh, and listen to String Lights.
Yeah.
There it is. Everybody say goodbye. Bye.
Corn dogs.
Bye.
Bye.